why my 600-pound life fell off, which is a video that came into my recommended the other day. And I was like, huh, this looks pretty interesting. I don't think the show fell off. There's a reason they're in season 13, and Dr. Now probably lives in a $100 million mansion because he's the savior of all saggy kind, trying to light up the lymphedema one person at a time. But let's see why this guy Buzzkill thinks that this show just absolutely fell off, because I don't think it did. People love this show.
Look out.
This is not easy.
When I first watched My 600-Pound Life, I thought, wow, this is the most emotionally raw, painfully real, life-changing piece of television I've ever seen. And then 5 minutes later, someone was eating fried chicken in bed while a family member sponge-bathed their leg folds with
Oh yeah, but you would show friggin' Donald at the start, the guy that went on the Jenny Crack diet. That guy's not the spokesperson of all 600-pound kind, okay?
a smile for the camera. This is My 600-Pound Life, the show that promised to save lives, but somewhere along the way started filming them fall apart instead. At first glance, it had all the right ingredients: a tough-love doctor with the emotional warmth of a DMV clerk, a cast of tragically sympathetic patients, and transformation arcs that felt like something out of a Marvel origin story.
Dealt with pretty much everything now, and it shouldn't be that way.
Just with more
Of course, you would describe Dr. Now as the leader of the Fat Avengers. He's Iron Man, and everybody else just needs to get more iron in their diet so they can be keto and lose all the weight Dr. Now wants them to.
skin infections and fewer capes. But beneath that glossy TLC logo and those softly tragic piano intros, something darker was broiling. And I don't just mean the leftover bacon grease from last night's cheat meal.
And then I just get mad.
If I don't make a change now, I'm scared it's gonna be too late.
Because while the show once sold itself as a brutally honest look at addiction, trauma, and the battle for health, it slowly, and then all at once, morphed into a grotesque circus of binge-eating montages, tear-filled breakdowns, and lawsuits. Lots of lawsuits. What started as hope porn became trauma bait. So
Yeah, but that's because everybody got on the show and didn't realize that it just wasn't going to paint them in the best light. Like, even people from the show have emailed me and they're like, you're a jackhole. You're making way too many jokes for somebody that was 600 pounds. I've been there. I've done that. I know what it feels like. Like, that's why I can joke like that. I know exactly what you're going through.
buckle up and please fasten your reinforced seatbelt, because this is the story of how My 600-Pound Life went from groundbreaking television.
Did you sleep good?
Didn't have enough sleep. Had a long day yesterday.
To ethically questionable body horror with ad breaks. Back in 2012, a simpler time when TLC still pretended to be the learning channel and Honey Boo Boo was just a warning sign, My 600-Pound Life made its debut. It's
Bro, we seriously do need to change the name. I don't think they even call themselves the Learning Channel anymore. They've got to be the Love Handle Channel at this point. All the fat TV they have.
started as a limited docuseries.
I can't just get up and walk around like most normal people can. I'm too big for my legs.
The kind of thing you'd watch once, cry, and then never emotionally recover from. The concept was simple but powerful. Follow 4 morbidly obese individuals over 7 years as they tried to reclaim their lives from food, trauma, and the gravitational pull of their own bodies.
Bro, isn't it crazy that like early seasons, they were trying to follow them for 7 years? And then I guess they just, like, that wasn't sustainable maybe? Or everybody just started to screw up in that time frame?
At the center of this calorie-cutting crusade was Dr. Now, a 70-something bariatric surgeon with the bedside manner of a slightly annoyed landlord.
Anybody here? Oh, clearly. All right. We'll get you fixed now.
His approach was brutal, unfiltered, and low-key iconic. If Gordon Ramsay ever decided to do weight loss, it would be this man. Stop.
Also, you keep showing Donald, the guy that went all breaking bariatric on the Jenny Crack diet. That's got to be one of like the people that absolutely just fell off the wagon, the Weight Watchers wagon. It's kind of funny to choose him as like the one you keep showing like clips of.
Making excuses, he'd say, as his patient sobbed through yet another weigh-in. You're not hungry. If you were really hungry, you'd eat a salad. Inspirational, debatable, memeable, absolutely. Created by his son Jonathan, yes, Dr. Now's actual son, the show was originally a passion project that combined medicine, documentary storytelling, and reality TV pathos.
I did know that the son was the producer and had a heavy part and kind of the more dramatized part of the show. I knew that stuff.
And somehow, it worked. Audiences were gripped, ratings spiked, TLC ordered more. By season 2, the format had shifted, one patient per episode condensed into a year-long arc.
I want you to do your ankle pumps.
Recovery was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Viewers were treated to intense emotional backstories, cross-country moves to Houston, and the inevitable weigh-ins that made or broke lives. Success stories like Melissa Morris and Amber Rashty weren't just inspiring.
I believe what the doctor told me that I'll be able to walk again. Fingers crossed.
Hey, Melissa was very impressive. I was super proud of her. She friggin' killed it. And if I'm not wrong, I think she even ended up working for Dr. Now later on.
They were mainstream news. Amber, who lost over 250 pounds and reinvented herself as a body positivity influencer, became a kind of millennial weight loss icon. Meanwhile, fans began hailing the show as life-changing, brutally honest, and the only reason I still watch cable. Dr. Now's catchphrases became TikTok audio. People joked that he should run for president because for a while, My 600-Pound Life wasn't just a show, it was a movement.
It's pretty hard, especially, the way she left.
A messy, gastric bypass-filled, emotionally manipulative movement. But
Okay, there's definitely messy relationships, Reese cups, all that stuff kind of spiraled all together. That's why I think the show is just entertaining. People have this real fascination with anybody that can eat themselves to that size. And I get it, okay? It's kind of impressive that somebody can sit there, eat 10,000 calories a day and just not care about themselves at all anymore.
still, it always starts small. A weird edit here. A patient looking a little too distressed for comfort there, a throwaway scene that feels less like raising awareness and more like watching someone unravel on national television while sad piano music plays. But by the time the credits rolled on season 6, one thing was clear. My 600-pound life had stopped being about helping people and started being about filming their suffering in 1080p. Let's start with the lawsuits.
All right, every single one of us are suffering when you get to this size, so I don't know if you can even put it that way. I do think the camera angles need a little work. We don't have to be full frontal fupa and see every single shower scene. Like, that's kind of funny, but that stuff all cracks me up because it's just like, it's entertaining.
Back to the same old habit of what took you to be 650 pounds.
Oh yes, because nothing screams we're doing God's work like a class action. Beginning in 2018, the cracks in the glossy TLC veneer began splitting wide open. At least 10 former cast members sued Megalomedia, the production company behind the show. Fun fact, it's run by Dr. Now's son. So yes, a very cute family business if your family also trades in trauma and diet pills.
Donald, seriously? You're acting like a kid.
The allegations were as predictable as they were horrifying. Unpaid medical bills, emotional manipulation, contract fraud, stage scene.
Really? I don't even think I've even heard anything about the unpaid medical bills, but I do remember Donald taking off with that full battery, but he'll run out eventually and somebody will have to go get him.
Zero mental health care, and in some cases, literal threats from producers. One participant, Nicole Lewis, described the show as fraudulent after her promised skin removal surgery never happened.
And still friends, huh?
Yeah, and you're still my soulmate. You've always have been.
But the camera crews sure did. Dorothy Perkins claimed she had to pay out of pocket for multiple post-show procedures, and all of them claimed the production ghosted them faster than a Tinder date who found out you actually weigh 650 pounds. But it gets worse, because this isn't just about money. It's
Also, RIP to Dottie. He called her Dorothy. I think she's the one that just recently passed, or maybe that was Paula. I don't know. Maybe Dottie's still alive. I'm mixing them all up in my head. So many people on the show have passed. It's really sad, but this is the life we live. We either make a change, live a better life, or you're heading for a casket, sadly.
It's about people dying. James L.B. Bonner, one of the most beloved and successful patients from season 6, lost over 200 pounds, and then his life. He died by in 2018 at age 30. His family later sued the producers for ignoring his repeated cries for help. According to legal documents, when Bonner expressed his thoughts, a crew member literally told him to fake it till you make it. You can't make.
Oh my God, that really friggin' happened? That's got to be some of the worst stuff I've ever heard about the show. James had the really, his story, super sad. My heart goes out to his family. RIP to him.
Make this stuff up. Well, the producers can make things up.
I have addiction to food,
because nothing makes me feel as good as I do when I have food in my mouth.
And they did. Gina Marie Krasley alleged that she was forced to binge eat on camera to make it look like she was failing her diet, only for Dr. Now to scold her in a made-for-TV moment of shame, which is the emotional equivalent of handing someone a cigarette and then yelling at them for smoking. And let's not forget,
Okay, but she also only showered once a month, so she smelled like a trucker's truck stop. Like, it was pretty friggin' bad if that was the case. Her girlfriend, God bless you, because I don't know how you were living in the same friggin' room.
Jane Covey, whose dad died during filming. When she and her mom tried to pause production to, I don't know, grieve a little, the producers threatened them with breach of contract and kept rolling. Her breakdown, a perfect moment of drama for the episode. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, but surely they were providing therapy, right? These people were dealing with deep-rooted trauma, grief, and food addiction. Most participants reported receiving one therapy session. One, to undo decades of pain, abuse, PTSD, addiction, and give a solid enough soundbite for TLC's Thursday night lineup.
I mean, that's all I ever had to go to was one single session just to make sure that you're not going to, I guess, be, clinically depressed after you don't have food to cope anymore. So it doesn't surprise me that they only made them go to one for the show, too. They're kind of trying to speed everything up, right?
And Destiny Lachey, the show's first openly trans participant, pleaded for mental health support during filming. Not only was she ignored, the crew allegedly kept filming as she spiraled into a suicidal crisis.
And I left a big hole in my heart, a hole that I spent the rest of my life trying to fill with food.
She died in 2022. Another preventable tragedy turned into content, and it gets sicker. Let's talk.
Wow, okay. Destiny is the next episode I'm going to do when I find my way back to my 600-pound life. I've just been taking a little break from doing the episodes.
Talk about the voyeurism. You remember those scenes? Patients half naked, struggling to breathe, getting washed by family members while sitting on a portable toilet, filmed in painful close-up, no dignity spared. Jean and Covey was once filmed half nude while her mother cleaned her genitals. For authenticity, the producers claimed. Right. And Jaws was a documentary about beach safety. Critics began calling the show what it had quietly become, a human zoo disguised as medical transformation.
Well, duh. Every single person. The shower scene is everybody's favorite part of the friggin' episode. I could deal with seeing less naked 600-pound people. I did that enough with myself in the mirror.
Yvette Dion, a fat liberation activist, called it a horrifyingly exploitative freak show with the veneer of wellness.
I'm glad you enjoy it. But you're ready for a nap now, huh?
And honestly, she was being generous. Because by the late 2000s, my 600-pound life wasn't about helping people at all. It was about manufacturing breakdowns, cutting corners, and keeping the gravy train rolling, both literally and figuratively. Want more proof? In 2019, the family of L.B. Bonner filed their lawsuit. Within a year, 7 more former participants followed: Maja Radanovic, David Bolton, Destiny Lachey, Gina Krasley, all claiming the same pattern: manipulation, emotional distress, and a total lack of aftercare.
I do think that the show is there to help people, but it's also a business, right? They're also there to make money. And it just so turns out when you jam a camera in a fupa, it sells, baby. People, they're making millions off the extra SAG down in your nether region.
The producers denied everything. The network stayed quiet. The court eventually threw out the lawsuits on a legal technicality under Texas's Citizen Participation Act, essentially ruling that the participants couldn't sue because the show counted as free speech, and so nobody was held responsible, not a single dollar paid. But the damage? Oh, the damage was done. By 2020, headlines were stacking up like carb-heavy cheat meals. Reality show or real danger? Inside TLC's most troubling hit, the 600-pound lawsuit life. Even some of the success stories turned their backs on the show.
Also, if you sign that contract that says, hey, we get to film your cheeks backing it up like a dump truck, you signed the friggin' contract. What do you want me to say? I didn't sign it. I thought about it, but I didn't want to move to Texas.
It took him a little longer, but he's down around 100 pounds.
Amber Rashti, yes, the very same Amber from season 3, later refused to film any follow-ups. Why? She called the crew unethical, said they withheld her medical treatment to punish her for refusing humiliating scenes, and added that she felt harassed and pressured throughout filming. And then people started dying. More and more former participants passed away from health complications, untreated mental illness, or just the slow decline that happens when the cameras stop and the support vanishes.
But also, like, what did you think was going to happen when you invited a film crew in to film you at 600 pounds? Did you think like none of that was going to be embarrassing at all? Because I would have probably tried to troll the camera guy a little bit. I would have like stacked pies all over my room and just like smushed them up and told him I like couldn't help myself. I was going American Pie on them.
The doctor, he's gonna want me to eat better, so made sure I got me a good greasy fried chicken sandwich. And
By season 10, the show's bright, inspirational facade had completely cracked. Instead of hope, we saw tragedy after tragedy, with Dr. Now's one-liners fading into the background of internet memes and cynical TikTok edits. One of the most surreal moments, October 2025, a rumor goes viral that Dr. Now himself is dead. It spreads so fast that the man has to post an Instagram video proving he's alive, because yeah,
Okay, also, Dr. Now cannot die. He still has not saved every single diabetic in the world yet. He's just working his way there. So Dr. Now is going to live easy to be 130 years old, and he gets an extra 30 years. That's how Dr. Now does it.
yes, the face of the show had become so commodified that even his death became potential content. And let's be real, if he had died, TLC probably would have aired it as a 2-hour special titled The Final Weigh-In, saying goodbye to Dr. Now, with commercial breaks for protein shakes and stair lifts. By the time my 600-pound life hit season 11, the show had lost its soul and found a copy-paste template. Every episode felt like deja vu in slow motion. Dramatic music, crying in bed, a lecture from Dr. Now, a fast food relapse, another weigh-in. Rinse, repeat, regret. It stopped being a documentary. It became a diet-themed Groundhog Day.
my feet.
Also, when Dr. Now does pass, there probably will be a special. I'm not even going to lie. They're probably going to call it like the Grundle Grabber goes to meet God. It'll be something along that line.
Gotta try to lay down, get some rest.
The participants? Barely people anymore. Just predictable character archetypes. The excuse machine, the emotional breakdown, the miracle redemption. The show's emotional beats were so scripted you could time them with a stopwatch. If someone wasn't sobbing by minute 18, were you even watching My 600-Pound Life? And don't get me started on the editing. Whole scenes of someone struggling to get into a car, drawn out like it's a Marvel fight sequence.
Bro, you've never actually fought the door jam before. That shit is way too small, especially if it's a little car or if you have to climb up. Like, that door, I'm pretty sure I probably have CTE from bashing my head into so many doors trying to get into cars before.
15 minutes of wheezing, tears, and a sad synth soundtrack. This wasn't raising awareness. This was editing human misery for maximum engagement. Even Dr. Now's iconic quotes, once scathingly honest, started sounding like auto-generated catchphrases. You're not hungry, you're addicted. If you don't change, you die. Okay, doc, but maybe the show should change too. Online, the backlash became impossible to ignore.
I also think like my favorite Dr. Now line ever is, does he look malnourished? I think that's one of his lines.
TikToks mocking the script, Reddit threads begging for originality, YouTubers posting reaction videos titled, Why This Show is Ethically Bankrupt. The worst part, the hope felt fake. Every transformation felt rushed or incomplete.
I feel like that should be a victory for me because I lost a lot of weight.
The deep-rooted...
I don't think it's like incomplete. I just think you would have to follow somebody for years. Like if you guys have been watching my YouTube channel since it started, you've kind of seen me along the way, so you know more of what's going on. Some of you probably know more about me than I do.
Issues, trauma, addiction, mental health, barely addressed because this wasn't about healing anymore. It was about content. So what are we left with? A show that's more spectacle than support, more manipulation than medicine, more predictable, more polished, and completely pointless. In the beginning, My 600-Pound Life felt like it might actually matter. It showed us the harsh reality of addiction, trauma, food as a coping mechanism. It gave people second chances, real transformations, real tears. A surgeon who didn't sugarcoat the truth, which ironically made it all the more powerful.
It's a spectacle, but it's a show. Like they have to like over dramatize it, do all that. I still think they're giving hope to a lot of the hefty, so I don't have a problem with them kind of turning it in, like turning up the drama to get better. Not like it doesn't bother me. I would expect that out of a TV network.
It was messy, raw, human. But like so many things in reality TV, the moment the ratings soared, the ethics plummeted. What started as a lifeline became a highlight reel of human suffering. The patients stopped being people and started being plot devices.
In that way, then effect of that on your cardiovascular system is just significant.
The therapy sessions were swapped for fast edits. The healing arcs were interrupted by lawsuits, breakdowns, and funerals. And sure, some lives were changed, some people did get better, but too many were left broken, or worse. That's
Also, like, I'm gonna draw my line. I'm gonna draw my line with TLC when they come out with like my 600-pound fiance first day out of prison. That's where I'm gonna draw the line. They went way too far there.
That's the tragic irony of My 600-Pound Life. It could have been the show that bridged empathy and entertainment. It could have educated, inspired, and supported all at once. Instead, it became a cautionary tale of what happens when human pain becomes episodic content. So can it be saved? Probably not. And maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe it should serve as a relic, a grim reminder of how easy it is to exploit vulnerability when you call it awareness.
And after that, Patrick should lose 20 to 25 pounds each one.
But hey, if you like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
I do think that they're actually doing some good with the show. Like, yes, like, has most hope been lost once you get to this size? You're broken. You're just torn down. You're defeated. Like, you just are beating yourself up day in, day out. Like, defeated might not even be the right word, but you're definitely down on yourself. You're not really defeated until you give up. So if they called the show not so much defeated yet, or maybe they're just taking the paycheck for being on the show and they've just totally given up, like some people on there. But there's some kind of beauty in being broken. So yes, the show's over dramatized. Has it fell off? Hell to the no. My 600-pound fiance starts next week, okay? I'm gonna be the first episode. But leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know if you guys think My 600-Pound Life fell off. This video just came up in my recommended. I'm kind of fascinated. I mean, I think he had some valid points. And I also think, like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the show is just a little too much. I like it, though. I think it's funny because I can relate on so many levels to the people. But, yeah, that's about it. See y'all later. Bye.